It's time to rendezvous with cassidoo. Boo! Hello, everybody. This video is so late this week, but I have a reason. I've been just working a lot. That's a really bad reason. If you haven't been here before, my name is Cassidy, and I run a newsletter called Rendezvous with Cassidoo. It's a weekly newsletter full of links, stuff I'm up to, stuff in the industry, random stuff, jokes, practice coding, and more. And we'll get into it in this video. This is the most recent issue, which was May 18th. Oh my gosh, it is May 22nd in video form. Normally I do this much earlier in the week, but once again, work. Anyway, let's get into it. So first of all, the quote for this week: technology is cool, but you've got to use it as opposed to letting it use you. From good old Prince. You know, this could be a whole lot of commentary, especially on the state of the industry right now that we are in, with all of the AI things all over the place, all the time, always. And yet Prince said it, who has not been with us for a very long time. So that shows how much this has been a concern for forever. Anyway, I think it's particularly poignant right now to think that way. You gotta not let it use you to think. You should be doing the thinking. Anyway, I hope you had a good week. Last week, my brain was catching up on vacation. This week, I've been just deep in Microsoft Build prep. Microsoft Build is a big conference that's coming up in a few weeks, and my brain is fried. And so anyway, let's get into the links this week. So the web links were pretty cool this week. First of all, moving away from Tailwind and learning to structure my CSS. I clicked it because it was kind of a cheeky title, but it was a good read and just best practices in CSS and all that. Some of my projects are using these CSS utility libraries. Some of them are me just writing regular CSS. I really like writing just regular CSS. There's pros and cons. But anyway, I like that this person went down this journey. This next article is beautiful on rendering sky, sunsets, and planets. It's one of those that, like, I'll let you click on it. I'll let you deep dive into it. Lots of math, lots of graphs, but a lot of very cool learnings on how to render really cool things in a browser. For preserving DOM changes across live reloads, this was a really fun one, specifically around live reloads in 11t. It was full of surprises, failures, all that. I liked this one. And then the last one is 33 JavaScript concepts, which I think started as just a blog post of like JavaScript concepts you should know, and it turned into a whole learning website. And I liked it. It was pretty good. For something that interested me this week, I had a sty in my eye last week. I'm just glad that it's gone this week. It has been a stressful time, but we're making it through. I made a whole lot of videos on this channel and on the GitHub channels and in a couple live streams. I linked all of them in the issue. You can check them out. It was fun. I particularly liked doing that vibe coding from the perspective of millennials and Gen Xers, that live stream last week. It was amusing how we all had very similar thoughts on the subject, and I think it led to some good discussions about how we need to be educating people better in experience, with our experience, and not and help people like fail but learn from that failure and try to teach the art of being okay with failing, if that makes sense. But anyway, it was a good stream. I did stream this week. This is one of those videos where I can now say I did stream this week. Streamed yesterday on this channel and on Twitch, and I hope to continue doing so. Once again, Build is coming up, so my cadence might be a little up and down there. For a sponsor this week, we did not have one, once again, but that's okay. It's cool. The graph does not need to go up here. But once again, though this newsletter is free, it's not free to make. There are infrastructure things and my time that goes into it. And so if you or your organization would like to sponsor, let me know. Reach out. You can comment here, respond to the email, reach out on socials. I would be very happy to share, particularly if you do dev tools. That tends to be the right audience for this newsletter. Or you can join in on Patreon or GitHub sponsors. Okay, interview question of the week. Last week I had you bounce an object around an array, kind of like the DVD logo that you see on older screens, and that was a tough one. but y'all did it. This week's question: given a string S consisting of letters, convert each character to the opposite case. And then also there's an alternate perimeter in there. And so these examples, hello world, you would capitalize all of the lowercase letters and lowercase all the uppercase letters. And then the alternated one, I just thought it'd be kind of fun because it's like that meme text of like, blah, blah, blah. At least that's how I picture people saying words when their text is alternated like that. All right, onwards. For cool things around the internet, how diamonds are made. That was neat. Very cool graphics, like the actual graphics in there are cool, but also just learning about that process was awesome. The next article is called Big Thank You to Cassidoo. It's not about me. They titled it that way and I felt weird pasting it in there, but it's about keyboards. One of the readers here, you might be watching it, hey, wrote a very lovely blog post about a keyboard that they won in a raffle that I ran in this newsletter. And it's fun to see people actually getting their prizes from the raffles and stuff. The next link is a 24/7 live stream of Wallace and Gromit that I stumbled upon, and Wallace and Gromit is a delightful little show, especially for young kids, and because I have them in my house, it was kind of nice to find that this is an actual thing that is on all the time. And then this last article, very bloggy, very opinion-y, but I like it. Very, very indie webby, this blog post. Talking about making the world too complicated, and they say how they wrote this blog post on a machine they don't fully understand, in this world they don't fully understand, and there's so many things that you could do just on pencil and paper, but the world is very, very complicated now, and it's very easy to feel overwhelmed by all of the AI things, all of the stress of the world, and the things that are out of our control. But it's also kind of a call to return to things that are more concrete. I know myself, I really like using tools that I can build. I have a paper notebook with me. I like building my keyboards. I like building things for myself, and I think a lot of us can relate as developers in general. But yeah, anyway, I agree. We have made the world very complicated, but that doesn't mean all is lost. It just means that we gotta, I don't know, figure out what we want to do in this world and how we want to shape it. There was a quote that I read once. This is a total side tangent. There's a quote that I read once, and I'm fully forgetting who said it, but it was like something along the lines of, we are borrowing the world from our children. And I really like that because it makes you think, if you have that mindset, you want to make this world a better place for the people who will be in it beyond us as adults. And yeah, anyway, this blog post made me think of that quote, and in general, we should be the change we want to see in the world. Ugh, cringe. Anyway, for the joke of the week, why did the knife dress up in a suit? Because it wanted to look sharp. All right, y'all. That's all for this week. I hope you have a good one. Be safe, make good choices, and clear off your desk. It is probably a mess. Mine is. Got a lot to do. Okay, bye!